Okay, hey guys, my name's Josh, and I am a yoga teacher now. So originally I trained as a contemporary dancer and graduated 5 years ago now. Since then I've been trying to develop my daily practice and been trying to work on what I want out of my physical ambitions for my creative arts. So recently, I took a yoga teacher training course in India, and I've now come back and I want to share with you my experiences. Um, yeah, first a little bit about myself. I trained at a dance school called Northern School of Contemporary Dance in Leeds. Trained there for 4 years, and yoga was also a great part of this course and a very beneficial thing, along with pranayama and mild meditations and relaxations. But I noticed in my life that these maintenance works for your body and mind is just that, it's work and it's maintenance. I think in the West we're very driven towards immediate fixes and fixes of trauma. So I found myself in my past throughout my dance training going through traumatic periods in my life, separations with people, um, self explorations, and negative experiences. And within those contexts, I did use meditation to give myself a quick fix, as it were. And at the time, it does help and it does work. But these things are meant, if you do these things to fix yourself when you're broken, if you keep doing them when you're not broken, then you won't become broken. This is a concept that I very much struggle with up until, I suppose, taking this yoga teacher training course and realizing that I can maintain, and so can everybody else. We just have to use some small application and discipline, because the overall benefits that I've noticed are incredible. Throughout taking my yoga teacher training course, for example, um, I've needed to enrich and nourish my life in all aspects within a very short period of time. So I, maybe 10 months ago, had to move home to look after my parents as my mother is now terminally ill. She's doing very well for the time being, which is very good, but I completely lost myself and dropped my identity and my being to become a carer, basically. So upon things stabilizing, I managed to go to India for a 6.5 week period, and within that, take a yoga teacher training course, which was not just for me to come back to the Western world to have a better job and to be able to make actual money, but it's also been a very therapeutic process for myself. But within that time that I was there doing the yoga teacher training, I also wanted to enrich and nourish my life in as many ways that I could. I basically wanted to do all of the things whilst doing 12 hours of yoga a day. And the way to do all of the things whilst having 12 hours of your day entirely eaten up by one specific thing is by sacrificing sleep. So I would be getting up at 6 a.m. every morning, getting to my yoga school for 7 a.m. to start our first asana class, and running that until 7 p.m. And then in the evening, still wanting to achieve something, still wanting to fulfill something in my social aspect of living. So I would do this, and I would find something to do in the evening. I would find friends to nourish myself with and to explore ideas with and to share. So then I obviously wouldn't go to bed until maybe midnight or 1 a.m., which leaves 5 to 6 hours for sleeping. And I had this as a consistency for 3 to 4 weeks. So 5 hours sleep, 12 hours yoga, maybe like 5 hours of me time enjoying myself with my friends and enriching other experiences. Now, I never thought that this was a possibility. Like, I've always been a believer that you can do all of the things, but I didn't think that you can sustain that amount of durational and physical activity on such a little amount of sleep. But it's possible. Like, obviously, in the long term, you do need to give yourself time and space, but if you do need to have this massive exertion of energy through pranayama and meditation and daily asana, I've never felt more energized, never felt more enriched. It was crazy. I've and I'm still kind of riding this wave of productivity and proactive behavior. So I think a daily practice, no matter if it's 20 minutes or 12 hours, I think everything helps and everything is beneficial. And these things are maintenance. These things are a day-to-day continuous grind. So I don't think there is a quick fix when it comes to looking after yourself and keeping yourself maintained. But the overall benefits, if you do manage to keep up a daily practice, are sublime. I've definitely been a much more calm and content person. I've been able to rationalize through situations a lot easier, and my ability to make decisions has dramatically increased. I think from dropping myself over the past 10 months and not listening to my own true voice and my own opinion made me lose the sense of decisiveness that I had had in my past. But coming to myself and giving myself time and space to be heard, I'm much more able to listen to my intuition, listen to my gut feeling on decisions, which makes me able to make a decision within the moment very quickly. And I have confidence that it's going to be the right decision. So that was my little introductory as myself and my story with yoga. And I suppose over the next 10 to 15 minutes, we're just going to share a small daily practice, which is going to involve some pranayama, some sun salutations, a peak pose possibly, and then a small guided relaxation towards the end. So stay tuned for part 2 of this yoga daily practice video. So we're going to start with a short pranayama exercise, which is alternate breathing, alternate nostril breathing. So what we're going to do is take our right or left hand and take your ring finger and your middle finger and put them together. Use your thumb and use your ring finger to block each nostril alternately. So I'm going to invite you to put your pointing finger and your middle finger onto where your third eye center would be on your forehead. And now use your thumb and ring finger to place gently on either side of your nostril. So we're going to start with an inhale and an exhale. And now use your thumb to close your right nostril and inhale for 4 through your left nostril. 4, hold, 2, 3, 4. Open your right nostril, release your thumb, and exhale for 8, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And inhale through the right nostril for 4, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Open the left, exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale through left, 1, 2, 3, 4. Close, hold, 2, 3, 4. Open right, exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale through the right, 2, 3, 4. hold, 2, 3, 4, exhale left, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 1, 2, 3, 4. Open right, exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale through right, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 1, 2, 3, 4. Open left, exhale, 8, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale left, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 1, 2, 3, 4. Open right, exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 1, 2, 3, 4. Open left, exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, we'll just do that 2 times without me counting through, in your own breath and in your own time. Okay, last exhale. Okay, keep your eyes closed and bring your hands to your heart center. Bring your hands to your third eye. If your palms are rubbed together, create some heat and friction in the palms of your hands. And now place them over your eyes and let that heat and that energy transfer through. Open your eyes behind your palms and let that heat enter your eyes. And slowly remove your hands in front of your face. Let the light of the world come in. So we do alternate nostril breathing to balance the energies of both sides of our nostrils, our right and our left sides. And this is to balance our energies from the moon and the sun, the male and the feminine. It also calms the mind and enriches your breathing. We take longer exhales to expel as much carbon dioxide as we can, which also helps to get our nervous system into the parasympathetic nervous system response, which is the rest and digest part of our nervous system. Opposing to that is the fight and flight, which is very handy, but it's not what we're looking for our daily practice. Our first bit of asana, daily physical practice, we are going to do, you guessed it, Sun Salutation A. Ah, yeah. So, as this is our first class together, I will run through what Sun Salutation A is in a more broken down manner, so you can hear my instructions and see my demonstrations. So, If we come and stand at the front of our mat, feet close together, stand in a Tadasana. What I'd like you to do is lift up your toes, push your big toes and your little toes into the ground, and feel that connection as a triangle between the 3 points of your feet. So we have one point being our big toes and the knuckle of our big toes. We have another point which is our little toes, spreading as far apart as we can. And our third and final point is our heels through the floor. So I want you to feel as grounded through this 3-point structure in both of your feet as you can. Like there's roots coming into the ground, rooting you down to the earth. So we have our palms facing forward, open to the elements. And our shoulders, if you want, you can roll your shoulders up and roll them back to the ground and down your back, keeping your rib cage closed and your head up. This, my friends, is Tadasana. And now on an inhale, I want you to take your arms up into a raised arm position, slightly having an upper back bend, opening your chest to the sky, and then slowly fold at your pelvis and open your arms up to a second. Fold at your pelvis, gently on the exhale, coming down to the ground. Have a small micro bend here in your knees. Release your neck down and try to touch the floor as much as you can. Don't strain here. If you do have a tight back, don't strain with your shoulders. Try and reach down. Just relax. Try and just have as little tension through your neck and your shoulders. And then I want you to take your left foot to the back of the mat and drop your left knee and untuck your left toes. Slowly lifting your chest up, opening again to the world in front of you, keeping your fingertips on the mat. And inhale here. Just take a couple of breaths here and really feel that hip flexor opening up on your left thigh. And then on the exhale, I want you to tuck your toe, lift your knee up, put your weight into your fingers or your palms, and step your right foot to the back of the mat to meet your left foot. Now hold here in a plank. I want you to think about a string coming out the top of your head, the crown of your head reaching forward, and then also 2 strings coming out the heels of your feet to the back of the mat. Imagine this sensation and feeling that power of opposition between your head and your tail. Just hold here for a couple more breaths. And on the inhale, drop your knees. Exhale, come to chin, chest, and knees. Keeping your elbows tucked in and your bottom raised up to the sky, looking out in front of you. On the inhale, I want you to slide forward, keeping your hands in the same position as what they are, untucking your toes, and lifting up slightly through the crown of your head, giving a slight upper back bend, coming into baby cobra. So we can have our weight in our hands somewhat here, but try not to crunch up in your neck. Again, you can roll your shoulders up and back and down the back of your spine. Take a few breaths here. On the in-breath, think about lengthening up. And on the exhale, think about pushing your weight, falling through the ground. On your next exhale, tuck your toes at the back of the mat. Come onto your hands and knees and bringing your pelvis to the back of the sky, lifting up into a downward dog position. If you want, you can walk your dog a little bit here. Give it a bit of a wiggle. Get into all of those nooks and crannies that you feel like you could be stretching today. And think about the length between your ears and your shoulders, keeping that space. Think about rotating through your arms, closing your armpits, and think about your pelvis reaching up into the sky. Take a few breaths here, and allow yourself to settle into this position. Okay, on the next inhale, I want you to lift your left leg back up and now bring in front of you to a low lunge position. Drop your right knee, untuck your right toes, and bring your chest up to the sky again, this time opening up our right hip flexor, keeping your fingertips on the ground. Take a few breaths here. Remember, it's very important to keep the tracking of your knee directly over your toes here, as that will keep your knees from getting damaged and keep the alignment in your body safe. Okay, and on the next exhale, tuck your toes, lift your knee back up, and now I want you to lift your right foot and bring it to your left foot at the front of the mat. Again, think about that 3-point connection now, with your big toes, little toes and heels back into the ground. Relax your neck, take a few breaths here. If you want to, take hold of your elbows with each of your hands and really relax into this. You should be able to feel a stretching at the back of your hamstrings and your glutes. If you're feeling this in the back of the knees, just have a slight micro bend here. Take that pressure out of the knees and really try to keep a relaxed back. So on the next inhale, I want you to come back up into a raised down position, coming up through a flat back. And again, open your heart to the sky. And on the next exhale, bring your hands back through the center, in front of your heart center. And then on the next inhale, bring your hands back into Tadasana. Okay, so we're going to run through that a little bit quicker on our right side. So I'll keep the instruction and keep the breath, but we're just going to run it through a little bit quicker. Okay, so Tadasana, think about the 3 points of contact with your feet, palms open to the air in front of you. And on the next inhale, take your arms up to the sky into raise down pose. Drop your shoulders down, hands together, chest open to the sky. Don't sink into your lower back. And on the next exhale, fold at your pelvis and take the weight over, opening your arms through the sides and down to the ground. If you want to, grab hold of your elbows, relax your neck. Take a few breaths here. You should feel a nice release in your lower spine. And on the next inhale, pick up your right foot and take that to the back of your mat. On the next exhale, drop your right knee, untuck your right toe, and lift your chest up on an inhale, keeping your fingertips on the floor, feeling that opening through your right hip flexor. Take a few breaths here. And really think again about that alignment and tracking of your knees over your toes on your feet. And on the next exhale, retuck your toes, lift your right knee up, and take your left foot to meet your right foot at the back of the mat into plank. Keeping a nice long line through the head and the heels of your feet. Think about that power of opposition with those two beams of energy, those two strings, one coming from the top of your head and the others coming through the heels of your feet. On the next exhale, drop your knees to the ground and come to chin chest with your elbows tucked in and your bum up to the sky. Have a few breaths here. Really feel like your pelvis is lifting up to the sky and that your throat is opening, giving you the ability to speak your truth throughout your day. And on the next inhale, slide forward and come to baby cobra, release your toes. And lift your chest up, applying some pressure and weight through your hands into the ground. On the inhale, imagine the crown of your head lengthening forward. And on the exhale, imagine your weight sinking into the ground. Now on the next inhale, tuck your toes again. Come through hands and knees, lifting your pelvis up to the sky, straightening your knees, coming into downward dog. Take a few breaths here, and if you want to, walk your feet out, pad the dog on the floor. Take a few breaths in and out here on your own time, in your own rhythm. Start to listen to your body's natural rhythm and clock. And on the next inhale, lift your right foot up and take it to the front of your mat between your hands and your feet. Drop your left knee to the floor, untuck your left toes, and start to lift your chest up and open in front of you, keeping your fingertips on the floor, really feeling now the opening in your hip flexor on the left. Again, remembering the alignment and tracking of your knees over your toes. And take a few breaths here, sinking through into that pelvis, trying to reduce the gap between your pelvis and the floor. And on the next exhale, tuck your toes, lift your knee up, put your hands back on the floor. And on the inhale, lift your foot up and join your left foot to your right foot at the front of your mat. And again, hang out here a little bit in forward fold. If you want to, take your hands onto your elbows, release your neck, and again, try to feel that nice stretch in your calves and your hamstrings. If you are feeling it in the back of the knees, have a slight micro bend here again, and really feel that release in your lower back. Take a few breaths here in your own time. And on the next inhale, I want you to unfold through your hip, unhinge through your pelvis, taking your arms out to the side, coming back up into a raised arm pose. Allow your chest and throat to open to the elements in front of you. And on the exhale, take your hands back through the center into prayer pose. And on the inhale, back into Tadasana. Palms open to the air in front. So we're just going to do this a couple of times more on each side. I'm going to give less instruction, but more instruction on the breath. So we're going to try and turn this into a small bit of a flow now. So Tadasana, inhale, bring your arms up to raised arm position. Exhale, fold forward at your hips into a forward fold, bringing your arms through your sides to the ground. Inhale, step your left foot to the back of the mat, drop your knee, untuck your toes, and inhale into a low lunge, keeping your fingertips on the floor. Exhale, tuck your toes again, lift your knee, and bring your right foot to join your left foot at the back of the mat into plank position. Think about that parallel opposition here, and just hold this for 2 breaths. Exhale, drop your knees to the floor and take your chin, chest and elbows tucked in to chin chest position. Keep your pelvis raised up, and on the inhale, slide forward into baby cobra, pushing slightly through your palms into the ground. Exhale, tuck your toes, come through tabletop position into downward dog, lifting your pelvis up to the sky. Remember, if you want to, have a little walk here. Just spend 2 breaths here. And on the next inhale, lift your left foot up and bring that forward in between your hands at the front of the mat. Exhale, drop your right knee, untuck your right toe, and inhale, bringing your chest up and fingertips on the ground. Again, feeling that opening in your right hip and the alignment through your left knee. And on the exhale, tuck your toes, lift your knee, and pick up your right foot to join your left foot at the front of the mat. And exhale into forward fold. Take a couple of breaths here. Feel the release in your lower back and the stretch in your hamstrings. And the next inhale, come through forward fold and arms opening up to the side into a raised arm position. And the next exhale, lower your hands through your heart center, coming into prayer pose, and inhale Tadasana. So we'll just do that one more time on our right. Inhale, raised arm pose. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, right foot to the back of the mat. Exhale, drop the knee, tuck the toe, and inhale up into a low lunge. Exhale, tuck the toes, bring up the knee, hands on the floor, left foot to meet right foot at the back of the mat for plank. And exhale, drop your knees to the floor. Inhale, chin, chest and knees. Exhale, slide forward. Inhale up into baby cobra. Exhale, tuck your toes, come through tabletop, lift your pelvis up to the sky into downward dog. Inhale, pick your right foot up and bring it in between your hands at the front of the mat. Drop your left knee, untuck your toes and come up into a low lunge on the inhale. Exhale, pick up your left knee and tuck your left toes. Pick up your left foot to meet your right foot at the front of the mat into forward fold. Again, feel that release in your lower back, the length in your hamstrings. And on the inhale, take your arms out to the side to come up into raised arm pose. Exhale, hands through your heart center into prayer pose. Inhale, Tadasana. Great. So you can do this sun salutation a few more times, but for now we're going to take you to our peak pose. We're going to take just a small headstand. So what I want you to do is at the front of your mat, come into a tabletop position. Lower your forearms onto the ground and hold on to each elbow with your hands. Now this is a good way to work out the length or distance you need between each elbow. And now create a triangle from this point and this point in your hands. So your hands can come into the small cup to cup your head. And now I want you to put your head, the crown of your head, in the bowl of your hands. Now after you've done this, you can start to raise your pelvis up to the sky and come into a straight leg. It's almost like a downward dog with your forearms on the floor and your head in your hands. For example, here. Now, once you've found this position, you can start to walk and tiptoe your toes closer to your body with straight legs. Here is another example. And once you've gotten as close as you can, it's then time to pick up one foot and one leg at a time into your headstand with bent knees. One foot, 2 feet, and just spend a couple of moments here, a couple of breaths here. Once you feel like you've become stable enough, you can start to lengthen and extend one leg at a time directly above you, pointing your toes to the sky. One leg, 2 legs, one leg, 2 legs. Now just spend a few breaths here. Enjoy that feeling of the blood going to the top of your body and your head. Enjoy that feeling of your bones being stacked on top of one another. Feeling the small muscle firings that you need in order to keep yourself balanced. Now the idea of balance is that it's not a static pose. It's consistently moving, consistently shifting, consistently adapting. Okay, spend 3 more breaths here. And then take one leg back down at a time. One leg to the other leg back down. 2 legs. One leg to the floor. And the other leg to the floor. Bend your knees. And come into a child's pose and hold this for 4 breaths. We take a child's pose afterwards as a counter pose to release all of the tension in your back and shoulders from holding this headstand. Now roll up through your spine. Come to sitting on your mat. And come down to lay in a supine pose on your back, on the mat. Hug your knees into your chest. And have a little bit of a rock forwards and backwards. Maybe even side to side. Just try to relax your back and the surface of your skin down into your mat. And we're just going to take that on a little roll, up and down, up and down, up and down. Okay, and come into a Savasana position. So lay flat on your back, on your mat. And here I'm going to guide you through a nice guided relaxation. You just stay laid on your back with your eyes closed. I will speak to you a short relaxation to get you to relax into the ground. So starting with this relaxation in Savasana, I want you to imagine that you're led on a sandy shore on the beaches of somewhere tropic. The sands are white and the sun is warm. I invite you to have your eyes closed for this and really feel your back surface melting into the ground. So I want you to imagine that the space between your surfaces of your skin and the ground are supported by this soft sand. And I want you to imagine that every bridge, every gap between your skin of the back surface of your body and the ground is being supported by the soft sand. So I want you to take your focus first to the back of your ankles, and you can feel how this bridges off of the ground and how your skin is not in contact with the ground. I want you to imagine that this space is being filled by the soft white sand of the sandy shores. Breathe into this space and feel that your weight is being relaxed and softening into the ground. And move your focus up to the back of your knees, again feeling this bridge in connection to the ground, and the gap is being filled in by the soft sand of the shore, helping you melt your weight of your knees down into the ground, relaxing, supporting, and softening. And now I want you to take your focus up to your pelvis and your sacrum and your lower back, feeling that this can sometimes be bridged off of the ground. I want you to fill that gap, fill that bridge with the soft sand of the shore, softening and supporting your weight into the ground. Breathe in and breathe out as you feel your weight softening and being supported and creating marks in the sand. And now I want you to take your focus up to your shoulders and your shoulder girdle. Feel the weight of your shoulders pouring into the ground, etching a mark into the soft sand. And now I want you to take your focus to your wrists of your hands. Again, feeling that the weight of your wrists are being supported and softening by the sand into the ground. Hearing the shore of the sea right next to you. Take your focus now up to your elbows. Again, leaving marks in the soft sand, softening your weight, softening the surface of your skin into the sand. And now take your focus up to the back of your neck, feeling that this bridge is being supported by the soft sand, feeling that gap between your skin and the floor. Breathe in, and on the exhale, breathe that weight and surrender into the ground. The last focus now. I want you to focus on the crown of your head, feeling that your soft skull is being supported and softened into the sand below. And in your final breaths, I want you to imagine the whole picture of your body, the way that the sand warps and wanes around your skin, filling the bridges and emptying out below where your weight softens into the ground. Imagine the whole picture of your back surface, leaving an imprint into the sand. Now just lay here for 5 minutes for your own Savasana, focusing on your breath, focusing on the inhale through your nose, and the exhale through your relaxed lips. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Allowing the thoughts to drift into your head, noticing them, allowing them to float back out into the world. Keeping your focus on your breath, inhale through your nose and exhale through your open lips. Now take your hands in front of your heart center into prayer position. Rub your hands together, trying to create some heat and some energy in the palms. Now take this energy in front of your closed eyes and allow that energy to sink into your eyes. Open up your eyes behind the closed palms and allow your eyes to softly open to the world. Allow yourself to think with your day with clear thoughts and intentions, to speak your own truth, to feel love, and to give thanks to the world. Namaste. Enjoy your first day. I'll enjoy mine. And I've hoped you've enjoyed daily practice number 1.